Title suggestion: Why your search for stability is failing, according to the I Ching. You are looking for a home in a world that is designed to keep you moving. You believe that stability is your shield. You think that if you can just build a big enough wall, secure a permanent enough title, or hoard enough resources, you will finally be safe. You are wrong. In fact, the most powerful strategy for navigating the chaos of the 21st century was written 3,000 years ago by men who were running for their lives. The I Ching, the Book of Changes, contains a specific code for the person who feels like an outsider. Hexagram 56. It is called Lu, the Wanderer. Most people spend their lives trying to avoid being the wanderer. They want to be the king in the palace. But the sage knows that the palace is a trap. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the one with the most power. It's the one who knows how to be a stranger. It's the one who understands that in a world of constant flux, the only true home is the one you carry inside your own chest. Today, we decode the traveler's secret to infinite power. To understand the I Ching, you must understand the weight of the dirt it was written in. Imagine the year 1046 BC. The Shang dynasty, a civilization that had ruled for 600 years, is collapsing. They were the masters of bronze, of ritual, of absolute stability. They thought they were eternal. But then came the Zhou. They were nomads. They were wanderers from the western fringes. They had no fixed palace. They had no ancient lineage that the Shang respected. King Wan, the architect of the Zhou rise, spent years as a prisoner of the Shang. He sat in a cold cell in Yoli, watching his sons be executed, waiting for his own death. It was there, in the ultimate state of wandering, stripped of his land, his family, and his future, that he refined the hexagrams. He realized that the Shang were failing because they had become rigid. They had forgotten how to move. They had forgotten the mandate of heaven, which is not a permanent deed to a house, but a temporary lease granted to the one who can best navigate change. Look at your life today. Does it feel stable? The permanent job is a relic of the 1950s. The industry you trained for might be automated in 5 years. The neighborhood you grew up in is unrecognizable. Did you know that the average person will change careers, not just jobs, but careers, 5 to 7 times in their life? We are all wanderers now. We are all strangers in a digital landscape that shifts beneath our feet every time an algorithm updates. If you approach this new world with the mindset of the Shang, trying to build a fortress of how things used to be, you will be crushed. But if you approach it with the mindset of the Zhou wanderer, you become untouchable. Hexagram 56 is the tactical manual for the transition. It is the guide for the in-between times. Whether you are starting a new business, moving to a new city, or simply realizing that the old version of you no longer fits your current reality, this is the wisdom of the stranger. The I Ching describes Hexagram 56 as fire on the mountain. Think about that image. A fire on a mountain does not stay in one place. It consumes the dry grass. It moves with the wind, and when the fuel is gone, the fire vanishes. It is bright, it is powerful, but it is transient. That is the energy of the wanderer. You are the fire. The world is the mountain. You are here to illuminate, to transform, and then to move on. Let us look at the first core teaching of the oracle. The I Ching says, the wanderer has success through smallness. Persistence brings good fortune to the wanderer. Read that carefully. It does not say the wanderer has success through grand gestures or massive takeovers. It says success through smallness. When you are a stranger, when you are in a new environment or a period of change, you have no social capital to burn. You don't have the luxury of being arrogant. In plain language, this means that when you enter a new territory, your power comes from your ability to be observant, humble, and precise. You don't try to change the whole system on day one. You find the small wins. Think of a modern company like Airbnb. When they started, They didn't try to buy hotels or change international travel laws. They were wanderers. They focused on one small thing: renting out 3 air mattresses in a San Francisco apartment. They stayed small until they understood the terrain. If they had tried to act like a global hotel chain from day one, they would have been shut down by regulators before they could blink. The actionable principle is this: in times of change, your greatest asset is your lack of baggage. Do not try to carry your old status into your new world. Start small. Be precise. When the minor skirmishes before you declare a war. Ask yourself, are you failing to move forward because you are trying to carry a big version of yourself into a small opening? Are you too proud to take the junior role, the side hustle, or the learning curve? The mountain doesn't care who you were. It only cares who you are now. The second teaching is the image of the hexagram itself, fire on the mountain. The sage tells us, the fire on the mountain, the image of the wanderer. Thus, the superior man is clear-minded and cautious in imposing penalties, and does not protract lawsuits. This is a warning about the volatility of your influence. When you are a traveler, when you are moving through a cycle of change, your impact is intense but temporary. You are like a guest in a hotel. If you get into a screaming match with the manager, you are the one who loses. Why? Because the manager is the mountain. He stays. You are the fire. You are just passing through. Think of cancel culture or corporate politics. We see leaders who reach a new peak, a new mountain, and they immediately start trying to impose their will on everyone. They start lawsuits, metaphorically speaking. They pick fights they don't need to win. But because they are wanderers in that position, because the market is shifting, they find that their fire burns out the very ground they are standing on. The actionable principle: when in transition, prioritize clarity over conflict. Do not waste your energy trying to punish your enemies or prove people wrong. Your job is to stay clear-minded and keep moving. If a situation is beneath you, leave it. Don't try to burn it down while you're still standing in the middle of it. Stop and think. How much of your current stress comes from trying to win a conflict in a place you don't even plan to stay? Is the argument with your boss worth your peace if you're planning to leave in 6 months? Is the social media feud worth your focus if those people don't know your name? Don't be the fire that traps itself. Teaching number 3, the lodging house. The I Ching says, the wanderer comes to a lodging house. He carries his property with him. He gains the perseverance of a young servant. This is the most practical advice for the modern worker. In the ancient world, a wanderer had to be careful where he slept. If he was too flashy, he'd be robbed. If he was too messy, he'd be kicked out. He needed a lodging house, a temporary base of operations. But notice what he carries. He carries his property with him. In the modern sense, your property isn't your house or your car. It is your skills, your reputation, your network, your portable value. Look at the career of someone like Naval Ravikant or any successful venture capitalist. They don't rely on a single company to define them. They are wanderers in the tech ecosystem. Their lodging house might be a specific fund or a specific startup, but they carry their property, their judgment, and their brand with them. They have the perseverance of a young servant, meaning they are willing to work hard and stay humble, even when they are the most important person in the room. The actionable principle: build a portable life. If you lost your job, your title, and your current city tomorrow, what would you have left? That leftover part is your true property. Invest in that. Become the person who can set up shop anywhere because your value is internal, not structural. Here is a statistic that should haunt you. According to a recent study, 40% of the Fortune 500 companies that existed in the year 2000 are gone. If those billion-dollar mountains can crumble, what makes you think your stable position is safe? You must be the wanderer who carries his own house. The final teaching is a warning. The I Ching is never just encouragement. It is a mirror for your hubris. It says, The bird's nest burns up. The wanderer laughs at first, then must needs weep and wail. Through heedlessness he loses his cow. This is the tragedy of the successful wanderer who forgets he is a guest. He finds a temporary nest, a high-paying job, a trendy social circle, a period of easy money. He gets comfortable. He laughs at first. He thinks he has finally found stability. He becomes heedless. He stops being observant. He stops being humble. And then the nest burns. The market shifts. The company is acquired. The trend dies. Because he forgot he was a wanderer, he has no plan B. He loses his cow, his source of basic sustenance, because he was looking at the stars instead of the path. Think of Blockbuster. They had the perfect nest. They owned the mountain. They laughed when a small wanderer called Netflix offered to sell to them for $50 million. They were heedless. They thought the nest was permanent. 10 years later, they were weeping and wailing. The actionable principle: never mistake a temporary peak for a permanent home. Enjoy your success, live in the nest, but never forget that the fire is still burning on the mountain. Keep your traveling gear ready. Stay alert. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you are most at risk. How do you apply this? How do you take this 3,000-year-old wisdom and use it to change your life this week? We are not here for philosophy. We are here for strategy. Here are 3 concrete actions you can take right now. First, perform this stranger audit. For the next 48 hours, I want you to look at your primary workplace or your main project as if you were a stranger who just arrived from a different country. Ignore the way we've always done things. Look at the inefficiencies. Look at the unspoken tensions. Look at the opportunities that everyone else is too at home to see. The wanderer sees what the resident misses because the resident is looking through the fog of habit. Write down 3 things that are obviously broken but no one is talking about. That is where your small success will come from. Second, use the fire on the mountain matrix for your current conflicts. Make a list of every person or situation that is currently causing you stress or anger. Now, ask yourself, in 2 years, will I still be on this mountain? If the answer is no, then you are the fire. Immediately withdraw 50% of your emotional investment from that conflict. If you are leaving the company, stop trying to fix the culture. If you are moving out of the city, stop worrying about your neighbor's lawn. Use that reclaimed energy to fuel your next move. Don't burn yourself out on a mountain you're about to leave behind. Third, conduct a portable asset inventory. Tonight, open a notebook and list everything you own that cannot be taken away by a boss, a government, or a market crash. Your specific technical skills, your ability to speak a second language, your reputation for honesty, the 5 people who would pick up the phone at 3 a.m. to help you. This is your property that the I Ching says you must carry with you. If that list is short, your goal for the next 90 days is not to make more money, but to build more portable property. Become heavier on the inside so you can be lighter on the outside. Most people are terrified of the unknown. They see a period of change and they see a cliff. But the sage sees a path. The I Ching does not tell you to be afraid of being a wanderer. It tells you that being a wanderer is a position of extreme tactical advantage. If you have the discipline to stay small, stay clear, and stay portable. You began this video looking for stability. I hope you leave it realizing that stability is a ghost. The only thing that is real is the cycle of change. The fire moves. The mountain stays. Eventually, the mountain itself will wear down to sand. In 1000 BC, the Zhou nomads didn't win because they were stronger than the Shang. They won because they were more comfortable with the road. They knew that a palace is just a lodging house with better curtains. Go forth this week. Be the stranger. Be the fire. Carry your property in your heart and leave the burned nests behind without a second glance. The mandate of heaven is moving. Will you be there to meet it? If you found value in this decoding, You will find more in our detailed analysis of the Zhou strategy in the link below. Do not wait for the mountain to crumble before you learn how to walk. We will see you on the path.